ring light on.
Come on. Also, I am aware that... Well, no, we've got the lights here. It's okay.
Hold on, don't stay.
What? Don't...
Not on this one, no?
No, it's a good idea, but... No, just leave it. It's fine.
Okay.
That's pretty quite good, that. You've shunned it straight away.
It might have been good, but it's all right. No, it's all right.
What are you worried about, the electricity?
All right. Right, okay. I'm going to have to... Right.
What's your thoughts on it?
Right. So...
Should we do cheers?
Yeah.
Cheers. It's Steve's birthday yesterday.
Cheers. Yeah,
Let's tap the table before you drink. Quickly. No. What are you doing?
What do you mean? Is that what you do? Is it? Right.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
We're at the question time from the audience. Has anyone in the audience got a question?
No. Right.
I might just start talking. Yeah, question from the audience. How are you going to get, where do you want to get to in your acting career? Question from Natasha. Where do you want to get to in your acting career? And how are you going to either make sure you get there, or what is your plan to get there?
Okay, so where do I want to be with my career? I want to start doing series. So I want to do, like, a dream would be to do something like The Office, the US Office, because it's like deadpan. Stuff like that. Like deadpan comedy is something I enjoy. And I also want to do something like American Horror Story. So like, because that's obviously gory and it's properly like fucked. And I think I would enjoy playing a character on something like that. That's where I want to be. Something like that. Like just a series that goes for ages, but it goes for like 9 seasons or something. I want to do something like that.
So if that's your goal, what's your step-by-step plan? Or, how are you intending to get there?
To be honest, I've not really thought about how I'm going to get there as a goal yet, but what I'm doing at the minute is kind of like, whenever I feel like I'm not taking any steps forward, I start pushing things. So like I'll start emailing like directors, and I'll start emailing like even like casting directors. And like casting directors, you can email when you get a new show reel or something, and then you're like fresh on their brain. Or like if I apply for a job and they've got their email, I'll also email them and apply directly through the email. So I'm like popping up a lot for them. Or I'll like follow a lot of have a try of that. It's quite nice.
This is a strategy that you're thinking others might not be doing, or that you're going to at least follow and do as well as anyone else does.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if other people are doing that or not, but I've noticed that I know that when I do it, I always tend to get somewhere doing it. And there's been a lot of times that I've done that, and then I've ended up speaking to directors and speaking to casting directors or producers or people like that. And then they've like got my Instagram, and then we've stayed in touch, which is good, because even if nothing's directly come from that straight away, I'm in touch with these people now. So if they're casting for a role that looks like this, I'm going to be the first person they think of, because they're going to be like, I know who looks like that. I know who can play that character.
How important is your social media following and your numbers to get cast?
I think it's hard, because I would say attention is like the new currency for sure, because like back in the day it didn't really matter, but now it's like Kim Kardashian's in American Horror Story now, and it's like, come on, you're not an actor, you know what I mean? But like, of course, exactly, she's not an actor, but she's Kim Kardashian, so she's an American Horror Story, exactly. So I think depending on the production, it can be important. So like if you're doing a low budget indie production, I think the following is probably important, is substantially important. It's a little bit important, because they're going to look at your followers and they're going to share that. That's going to get to more people because they've got a lot of followers.
For nothing.
But
So a question
exactly.
from you then, is that part of your strategy to become bigger and better and to get better roles to grow your social media following?
I personally think it's important to be on top of content on social media and stuff, just because as well, like, because I do have a following now and I get a lot of people that message me and stuff. I don't ever want to just like go MIA on the people that like follow me, the more people that think I'm great and I'm like an icon to them, the more people are going to start thinking that. It's like herd mentality, innit? Like if 10 people think I'm great and one person doesn't, eventually that one person's going to think I'm great. And it's not about them thinking I'm great and going, oh yeah, everyone thinks I'm sick and I'm like egotistical about it. But if everyone thinks I'm really good, then I must be doing something right, you know?
Have you heard of the Backstreet Boys effect?
No.
The first music video of any boy band has a load of girls chasing them, and the boys have to run away. And
Oh,
my
really?
God, how many fans we've got? And then people watch that and go, oh, wow, they must have loads of fans. I'll start following.
Yeah, they used to always do that.
Yeah.
But
Backstreet Boys video.
there was loads of boy bands in those days, even when they weren't famous, had that same thing.
One Direction, that was their first one.
I remember really boy bands that didn't really make it, or they had one hit single, and their second move.
Loads of girls chasing them.
Yeah.
That's how you first. Sorry, can't now at you.
Do you want to come? Does the audience want to come round here? It might be better on camera. That's all I'm thinking. If you were here, if you're going to ask a question, because we keep looking over
Come
there.
on, everyone.
I'll tell you what. No.
You guys as well.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, around the back of camera. I don't mean on camera. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to answer the question. I'll answer the question. Two ways for me. I would love to put all my attention to social media, but it's something I've never done. I've never done it because I'm an entrepreneur. I've always been a businessman.
But you're trying to now, aren't you?
So yeah, I'm gonna make a shift. I don't know how much. I'll be honest. I don't know how much time I'm gonna put into it, but I'm gonna try. You know. Whereas my backup plan, so to speak, is to fund my own films. That's my plan.
How much will that cost?
A lot. So
what type of film would it be?
Cast me.
Definitely, I want to do some martial arts related action movies.
I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
So are you taking martial arts lessons?
Yes, I am.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go. Are you getting good?
Am I good?
Yeah,
that's subjective. I'm about 8 months in. Am I better than when I first started? Of course I am. Am I good enough? Am I good enough standard to be where I want to be? Definitely not. But
that's a different strategy, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's the social media
strategy. So mine is to run my companies alongside my acting career. It always has been. And then if I need to, to push me forward, I'll invest in my own films. That's been my plan. However, I understand my plan's a bit different. I'd love to spend all my time on social media. I'd love to.
Like the Dan Bilzerian plan. He brought himself into movies, didn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't buy myself a role. I'd fund the whole movie. Yeah. Anyway.
That sounds like a good idea.
It's something you could do, but again, I won't have loads of money. So I will literally be taking a risk.
Yeah.
It is a risk. I know all business things are a risk, but the risk is no one would watch it.
So
I would.
Last question from the audience.
It's a big one, that. Go on.
A secret tip to make you a better actor that the audience has probably never heard before. Have you got one?
My one would be read, probably. Obviously, the most obvious one is to go to acting school.
Read what? Books about how to be a good actor?
Yeah, there's some good books out there. We covered one before, didn't we? The Power of the Actor by, what's her name?
Ivana Chubbuck.
That's a really good book. I think deep down in everyone, you're an actor of some sort. Do you know what I mean? So, and I hate to say it, I don't think it's how, I think to become a successful actor, and I can't say this because I'm not a successful actor, but a lot of it is to do with your mindset, right?
I agree.
Well, you've done 20-odd movies and you started late.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's people that have been going to acting classes for years and haven't done a movie.
Yeah.
What's that about? Yeah.
But that being said, there's some really good actors and actresses at acting skills. Yeah.
Mine would probably be concentrate on the acting that you're doing when you're not talking in a scene. So like when you're talking in the scene, no matter what you're saying, naturally you will act. So if I'm saying to you, I'm really sorry but your mum's died, I'm not going to go, I'm really sorry but your mum's died. Do you know what I mean? Naturally, if you're saying them words, regardless if it's fake, you're going to go, I'm really sorry but your mum's died. You know what I mean? Because you're doing it, but you've got to focus on how you're acting when somebody's talking to you. Because there'll be scenes when someone's talking to you and you're just stood like this. You've got to be engaged, you know what I mean? It's really hard to act when you're not saying anything and you're not doing anything. You're just stood listening to what the person's saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find that really hard to do. So I'd say that's something that you need to focus on.
Actually, yeah, interesting because they really value that. Like, if you're a good listener, they're like, do you listen? Like some of my acting teachers.
What, your acting
teachers, yeah.
Right.
And I've had one recently that wants to do a scene with me just because she said, Stephen, you listen. But I do. Well, once you've been doing it for a while, I guess it's like anything else, isn't it? You get better and better and better the more you practice. But yeah, we touched on it before. When you hear something, you've heard it for the first time, so it's the first time you've ever heard it.
Yeah.
And also, what you say is the last thing you've ever said. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
So, quick fire round. Oh, Natasha, do you go to acting classes too?
I don't. I've never done an acting class before, but I do have a workshop coming up with Ivana Chubbuck, the one who does that book that we've been talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
So this is probably one for Stephen, if I may. What's the most positive thing you've ever been told about yourself at acting class, and what's the most critical thing you've ever been told?
The best thing. Let's go with the critical first, because you always remember the critical. My acting teacher is amazing. He's been on all the biggest soaps. In fact, at one point, I think he coached people on all the biggest soaps in the UK. And he just, for no reason, just shouted out one day during class, Stephen, you'd never be on Emmerdale. I was like, what? Where did that come from? But you know, I can mumble sometimes. And he says, you won't get on that show.
If I could just quickly jump in, I live with Stephen, we're best friends, and he is a horrific mumbler, and then accuses me of being deaf.
You understand me, don't you?
I know what you mean.
You've got bad ears.
3 rooms where I go, no.
Everyone else understands me. Anyway, I do. I obviously must do. Yeah. That's the worst, I think. But do you know what? I like the criticism. I love it.
I'm so happy that you said that, because that proves me right. Because we argue about that all the
But
time.
to be fair, your hearing's going. I'll sit here and you'll have the TV on and it'll be that loud. Anyway, the best thing, I think the best experience probably I had recently was, and it was completely unexpected. We all got up to do scenes.
Yeah.
And there was about 30 people in the room. Boy, girl, parents. Really good scene. And you got up and you did it, and you sat down, didn't think anything else of it, got a bit of feedback. Next minute, one of the teachers, because I've got 3 teachers at the school, said, right, everyone's got to vote who they like the most in that scene. And they went around the room, asking all the actors who was the best actor. And the top 4 boys and the top 4 girls had to go back up and do it again. And then, well, you know what's coming on. I was in the top 4 in the boys, and then we had to go back, and then we got shortened into a top 2, so we had a final, and then I got into the final, and I was thinking, shit, I've done the same performance twice, and they were obviously okay performances because I was in the top 2, and I did something completely different in the last one,
which no one's expecting it. Yeah.
And the other actor was really good, to be fair, and the other girls that were in the top as well. I mean, they're all good, aren't they? And I won it.
Good job.
Yeah,
so this is a completely unrehearsed question. Could you give us a flavour of what you did?
Yeah, go on.
What I did differently?
No. Yeah, show us the acting now.
Oh, I can't show the acting, but what happened was I
can't show you that.
I can briefly remember it. It was a pizza delivery guy, and he was going up to someone to give the girl a pizza, and the girl at the door couldn't believe it because it's some weird film where she was invisible, but all of a sudden human beings could see her. She was dead excited about being seen. And it was that reaction, and I didn't know what she was on about, but she was like really interested.
You could just see it.
And literally, as I was walking, I just wanted to give her the pizza and get out of there. Do you know what I mean? Go on to my next job. That's what I was thinking. And as I got on my bike to go, which was some fake chair in the room, she said something, oh, don't go, or something like that. And I just turned around, and I just completely turned on its head and thought, oh, she's interested in me. Romantically, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went back and thinking, hold on, I can get this girl. Do you know what I mean? I didn't pull her. And I acted completely different to what everyone else was doing.
Did you change your dialogue?
No, the dialogue has to
stay the same. So it's all like your body language.
Yeah. How you speak and how slowly you might speak, or how fast or whatever, and your gestures, and you know. And it was what I did differently on the last one, because I thought, I could do this a little bit differently, and I think they like that.
So quick fire round, Natasha. Last question from the audience. Last 2 questions from the audience. What's the most positive feedback you've ever been given to some acting that you've done, and what's the most critical? And that's it for questions from
So the most positive is probably like I do a lot of death scenes, and every time I do a death scene, I will have people come up to me and go, "That's the most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard in my life." Every single time, like people still talk about it. People will like even on like I did a interview in Mexico, and they was asking about my death scene, and the SFX artist was there, and she was like, "That is the most horrendous scream I've ever heard in my life." Like everyone says it's a really, really good scream. So that's probably my favourite. But
can I just jump in?
No, okay, go on.
I don't even know if I want to ask this or not. Can you show us the screen?
It would probably be too loud to do in here. Or can I?
You can do whatever you want.
I can scream.
It's pre 9 o'clock.
But it's like really. But it's like the only way I can do it is if it's like top of my lungs. Do you want me? You want me to do it?
You can do it. If you want.
William, will you not get the police code? Will you get the police code or not?
Can you not do it like a low?
I can't do it at low volume.
Go for it, but for not too long.
To do it.
Oh, do you need to count down or just do it?
No, I can do it. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Why do you look like that? I'm scared. What if the police get called?
No, they won't.
Okay.
Go on.
I need to stand up to do it.
Why?
No, it's not that bad. Okay, so I've got two different screams. So like one is like if I'm scared and someone's chasing me, and one's if I'm being hurt. So I'll do the scared one because that's probably the loudest. Are you ready? Yeah. I'm scared as well. Yeah. Okay.
Your reaction.
I can't believe that.
Really? Like a terrified scream, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just acting.
Sorry, do you know what I was going to say actually?
That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I have to stand up to do it because you have to have all the air, don't you, in your lungs.
On a movie set as well.
Go on.
They when it's a death scene, it's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
like,
big.
They literally spend
deal.
fucking ages.
Hours.
They'll literally roll out scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in one of yours recently, wasn't I?
Oh yeah.
Had a bit of fun. Held you down.
You hold me down like this, and I'm like this. Yeah.
But yeah, that was about 5 hours of holding you down.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was. And I had to be crying, didn't I? So I was like crying like this.
Yeah, oh yeah. To be fair, no, it is quite traumatic, though, isn't it?
Yeah, to do a death scene, it's because you have to like. For me to make myself cry, I have to really force myself into a bad place because usually I'm quite happy and like go lucky. You know what I mean?
You were saying about your brain doesn't know the difference. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the most critical you've had? When someone said that was shit acting, you're not going to make it or anything like that.
No one's ever said anything like that to me. I don't know. I think it's hard because you're a man.
Have you ever sensed it?
I've never sent. No, I haven't. I don't think so. Because you're a man, that's probably why he said like you're never gonna get an Emmerdale because you mumble or something. Yeah. But I think people are easier on girls. Right. Like I think if someone thought I was shit, I don't think they'd tell me to my face. Right. Because honestly, because I think even if I was shit, I don't think they'd tell me. I think
you can't ever think that to a movie when you've gone, maybe I was shit in that. I'm not sure.
There's a few movies that I've done. Like Winnie was my first movie, and then I did.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, is it? Sorry. Do you want me to continue telling?
Yeah, I don't think you've. From what I've seen,
I don't think I've ever done a terrible job. I'm trying to think back to the movies I've done.
I think you must get better with time, mustn't you?
Yeah, you do.
In your earlier movies, you must have been shitting.
But
you become better with time.
Yeah.
Your first movie was Winnie, and honestly, you'd never think it was your first film.
Yeah, that was my first ever film.
She was really good.
So you got into acting late then?
Yeah, literally like the last year or so. Year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You wouldn't think it. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Winnie was my first ever film. Yeah.
So you're actually on a pretty steep trajectory then if you've done Winnie and
yeah, exactly. I started on Winnie up there, so now I've just got to keep going on.
You came work with me, didn't you?
I came to work with you, didn't I, on that movie?
On the big one.
We did a sexy movie, didn't we?
Sexy movie.
What's that called?
Darker Shades of Summer. And it called Desperate Housewives or something in a different country.
Yeah.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Have you got any more prepared questions?
No. I've got loads of questions about guys and stuff.
Oh yeah, come on.
Should we just do it for dead quick?
Yeah.
Like run through it?
Quick fire.
Quick fire.
Oh right. God, I'm not very good at that. Take me back if you need to. Pull me back.
Dating.
Right.
What was the shampoo? The amazingly expensive. No, well done. Right, dating men.
Yep.
Bit of fun.
Quick 20-second answers. 20-second answers.
Oh God, I'll try.
Answers. Okay. Do you have a type and what do you go for?
Yes, I do.
What
physically, my type, I go for usually tall men, maybe like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". Dark features, very sharp jawline, very strong features. Either skinny or like skinny muscly. Dark hair. I usually like quite long hair as well. Like not very long, but like long. You know, when it's kind of like, yeah.
I was going to ask you.
There's a celebrity that looks like that.
So I fancy Hero Finners Tiffin, who plays in After. I fancy him. I fancy Jacob Elordi, who plays in someone else.
Right. All right. I was going to say, does it matter how tall the man is?
It doesn't matter to me. I'm only 4'10".
But
typically, like, well, my physical type is around 6'6". But for me, I fancied men. Remember, I fancied someone before. I won't say who it is, but he was only like 5'7". Like, height really doesn't matter to me. I'm only 4'10", so even if they were like 5'4", I'd just be like, I really don't care. Yeah.
Or how much money the guy makes.
No, that's not important to me. The only thing that is important is that they care about themselves and they care about bettering themselves. So I don't care if you live with your mom and you're only on part-time and you just work at a restaurant. I don't care how much money you earn at all in the slightest, because I don't think you need to provide for me at all, because you don't. As long as you want to better yourself. I don't want you to be sat, like when you're not working, I don't want you to be sat at home laying in bed until 2 o'clock in the afternoon having a late night and you're on the piss every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want you to be focusing on your career. Yeah. That I find attractive.
Next question.
Okay. What do men do that you think is hot?
I like men who are in like a position of power. I think, yeah. I like it when they like tell people off as well. Even if it's me, because I like to mess with them. Like, you can't tell me off. You know what I mean? I like men who.
You sometimes do it to provoke the reaction.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. But I wouldn't do it to really annoy them. Like if they were like, "Look, I'm really stressed," I'd be like, "Okay, no worries." Yeah. I'm really easygoing, but I do like men who really try to like do things without you asking. Like they'll buy you flowers without you asking, or if you've got like a headache, they'll buy you some tablets without you asking, or like they'll really go out their way for you. You know what I mean? And they'll be really nice and attentive. And I like physical touch as well. Like I want to be touching someone all the time.
Good answers.
Good answers. Right, okay. What signs then do you give off when you like someone?
Oh God, this is really telltale, isn't it?
That's it. Lay on the line.
Everyone I've ever met's going to watch this and go, "She definitely fancied me then."
So basically none then.
No, I do give signs. So basically, I think when I fancy someone, I find everything they say kind of funny. Like they'll say something and I'll just be like, I'll just laugh because I'm nervous and I have a nervous laugh. Also, I will be like really attentive with them. Like if they're like feeling unwell or they've got something, like say they've got plans that day because they're going to do a job or something, I'll be like, "Hey, good luck with that job. Hope everything's okay." And I want to talk to them a lot as well. Like if I fancy someone, I want to be on the phone and I want to meet them and I want to text them a lot and stuff. Yeah. You know? And I would say that I like physical touch, but I like physical touch with everyone. Like if I don't know you, I won't. But when I'm friends with someone, like even you, like I'll walk holding on your arm, won't I? Like, and I'll like hold you, and like my other friends, even friends that are like gay, I'll like hold their hands and like hold them and hug them and stuff. So I like physical touch. That's another thing that I'll do if I fancy someone.
And if you didn't like someone, what would you do?
Stay far away. No, if I didn't fancy, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, if you see a bloke that ticks those boxes, so 6'1", wavy hair, looks like those celebrities you just said, in a nightclub, what would you do to indicate you're interested?
I wouldn't. You know me. You're like, she's right. I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't approach them, would I?
No, would you go and stand near them? Eye contact with them?
If what?
If there was a guy my type in a club.
You wouldn't speak to him?
What would I do? Yeah, usually I fancy someone, I just don't talk to them, do I? I just don't approach them, I don't talk to them because I'm so focused on my career that I'm like, if I fancy someone...
So you fancied someone on the train on the way here?
I did. I was like, "Oh, I quite fancy him." And he said, "Do you need some help with that bag?" And I was like, "No." And then I walked away.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I just don't...
That's interesting.
Yeah, what happens? Yeah.
I said to her, I said, why didn't you say yes? You
and I know I could have been like, yeah. And he was like, do you want some help with your bag? Because I've got a massive suitcase.
He must have.
And I was like, no, thank you. And then I just walked away.
He must have sensed it to ask you.
Yeah. I fancied him before because I seen him. He was sat in the seat that was like, so I was on the table seat. And then he was sat not on the table seat, but the seat behind. And I was here and he was there so I could see him on the journey. And I kept thinking...
He was trying to indicate... Sorry to talk over you.
No, it's okay.
Do you think he was trying to indicate interest to you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because he was like, do you want some help with your bag?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, thank you. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, no, thanks. And then I thought it was going to continue talking, so I walked away.
Were you wanting him to chase? You weren't just doing it?
No. I wasn't just doing it. I definitely didn't want him to chase. I walked away because I didn't want to continue the conversation. Because I'm like really funny. Like, if I fancy someone, it's all or nothing, innit?
Yeah.
Like, if I fancy someone, I do fancy them. And then, because I'm so nice, I'm so kind, and I really do genuinely care about people, when I fancy someone, like, my heart can get broken really easily, I think. Yeah. Like, I do put a lot into it, don't I? So then, because I'm trying to focus on my career and I'm trying to, like, stay away from that, I try and just stay away from boys and relationships.
Next question, Steve.
Sorry.
Next question. What's the best way for a guy to approach you on a night out?
On a night out? See, on a night out, they'd have to just come over and be like, they'd have to tick every box if they were in a nightclub, for starters, because I don't really drink.
Yeah, and if you
don't. Do I? So, well... like when I'm not at events, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at home, I don't go to the club. I haven't been out in my city for this entire year. Like, I'll only go out if it's at an event or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do drink, but only when it's an event. Like I won't just drink at home or whatever. You know?
So where are you doing?
When I look at me like that, like I get pissed on the daily.
Where are you most likely to meet Mr. Ray? 20 seconds. Go.
So yeah, most likely it would be at work, 100%, because I focus on like, I don't use dating apps. I refuse, like I definitely won't ever use a dating app, and I would never like meet someone online and be like, they're pretty, and text them and then speak to them. Like the only time it ever happens is when I meet somebody in real life and go, hey, you okay? And then we talk. That's the only time it can ever happen. And with the club thing, the best way to approach me, if they went in a club, they'd have to come over and be like, hey, you okay? Oh, I'm so tired. Like, don't usually go out. I'm usually in bed by 12. I work hard. Do you want my Instagram? And then I'd be like, oh, okay, fair enough. So
it needs to look natural.
If they came over like, hey, you okay? I'd be like, no, thank you. Like, I don't want someone to come over and be like, hey, and want to kiss me and take me back. Because I also, sorry if you're not allowed to talk about this on here, but I don't just have sex with men either. Like, I will only have sex with a man if I really, really like him. I wouldn't just have sex with somebody.
It needs to feel very natural and authentic.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Is there any more?
Describe your best ever first date, if you got one.
Shit, my best ever first date.
Or if not, what ideally would be, what would you like a guy to do for you on a first date?
What I'd like him to do for me?
Yeah.
Just pay lots of attention to me, I think, and just show that he's interested. Ask me questions about my life. Oh, I'm so easy to please, aren't I? I didn't even say I am. Yeah, just ask me questions about my life and like listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, and care and like don't make me, because I know I go on, and I've said to you two today, like make sure you pull me back to the question, but don't, because I've been with a guy before and I'd like talk to him and he'd be like, I don't want to know, you're talking too much. Can you just shut up? Like this is yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say it on here. Just cut this bit out, Stu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was with someone before and he was like, he'd be really nasty about loads of stuff. So I just don't want to be with someone who's like, oh, shut up, you're talking too much, or they don't care about the things that I say. Because I'd come off set and he'd be like, how was it? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I was with Steve and I was with this person, I was with that person, it was really fun and this is what we did. And he'd be like, no, but ask how the film was. And I'd be like, oh yeah, filming was good. Like, I just wasn't allowed to talk about anything.
Although to be fair, that's one of the funniest, it's one of the good things about being on the movie sets, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only reason I do it.
Don't wrong, love filming and all that, but it's great in the green room, or it's great in people's bedrooms. Yeah, remember the dream team that we assembled on Snake? Yeah, that's the best bit of it. Laugh. Yeah. It's a good laugh. Any more questions?
Well,
last question?
Just remind the last one.
Yep.
On that topic, Stephen, tell the story about when you had a date and you thought, you know what, I'm just not going to speak and I'm just going to listen, and how it went.
Oh, from years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. It went amazing, but I didn't say anything pretty much all night. And she went away and said it was one of the best nights.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even, because I just thought I'd try it.
You just didn't talk?
Yeah.
Really?
She absolutely loved it.
Oh my God, see what I mean? Girls love it when you listen. Really?
No.
Oh. I was like, wow, that was good.
They would have been. But...
That's what I want. I just want somebody who will listen. That must be a universal girl thing, that girls want somebody who will listen to them.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if you talk a lot. Like, I want to hear about you, but I want you to equally care about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Any more questions?
The last question of the
good.
podcast. What's your departing piece of wisdom for the viewers?
For me?
Life wisdom that you live by, or for the audience to hear?
Indeed.
Life wisdom. I think I go by this. Every life is as important as your own, which means like even insects, pigeons, even every life is as important as your own. So whenever you're like having a bad day and you're shouting at somebody because you're having a bad day, or you're just up shit's creek and you're like, I'm taking this out on everyone today. Remember that the people that you're taking out, their lives are just as important as yours. And even though I've been put in this like amazing position where I've done Winnie the Pooh and it's like blown up and stuff, there will be actors that are better than me, people that are nicer than me, better looking people than me in different countries that are underprivileged that don't get this opportunity. So always be grateful for the things you receive.
In regards to that,
biggest piece of wisdom.
That
you either live by, or that you've got to give to the viewers.
Do what you want to do and don't have any regrets. Quite simple, isn't it? If you're literally doing something that you don't like, stop and put your energy in something that you enjoy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because one day you're going to die.
You don't want to get to, 80 and look back on your life and go, shit. And this isn't a financial thing.
I've lived someone else's life.
You could be like, you could have £100 million in the bank, but you might be like, shit, I wish I spent more time with my family.
Yeah.
I wish I'd done a different career. I wish I did that thing I always wanted to do. So don't have those regrets. That's it.
I agree.
And that's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Way.
Right.
Brilliant. That was good, wasn't it?
We got loads, though, didn't we?